How to paint your Triarch Stalker. Okay, here's a look at the finished model, all painted up. You're going to want to begin by painting the entire model in Chaos Black. Once again, you can do this by the Games Workshop spray paint, or using their hand paint. You can also use other forms of black primers if you prefer, but I tend to use the Games Workshop substance. And as you can see, my gun is removable, so we're going to be taking that off and putting it back on later after we put some more paint on it. Okay, the first step is very subtle. You're going to want to use a bit of bolt gun metal and dry brush it over the spine at the back, so you don't get any of the indentations, but you still get a nice metallic look. And do the same thing on the whole of the undercarriage and the main platform, so you get this nice shiny silvery look without it being too bright. Obviously, if you want a brighter coloured army, you could use chainmail or even mithril silver. Next, you want to get out Dark Angel's green or some other quite dark green colour and gently dry brush it across most of the armour sections. Try to give it a random feel to it, and this is going to add depth for when more green is added later on. This is mainly done to the limbs and joints. Right, next you want to get Snot Green, which is another one of the Games Workshop's own paints, and dry brush this meticulously over the entire model pretty much, apart from those areas you've already done in metallic colours. So you can see you get this nice faded look across the whole model, and the areas with Dark Angel's green really help to add a bit of depth to the overall paint scheme. But if you try to add an air of randomness, it gives this nice faded look. Don't forget to do that top bit on the spine as well. Okay, now on to a bit more of the details. If you look here, here's my Praetorian, and there'll be a link up right about now showing you how to paint him in my Praetorian section. And he has a control panel, and we'll look at the rune on the front there. That's been done with scorpion green with a burnished gold surroundings, and the gems are all painted up with various bright colours. All of the green orbs are done with goblin green and then scorpion green over the top of that. And here you can see the control panel, which has also been painted up using bright colours. I use things like ice blue and blood red, and various yellows as well. Here's a look at the back with that nice green on. Here you can see the sections on the legs. All of the power orb casings and metallic bits were done in bolt gun metal, and the orbs were done with goblin green and then scorpion green over the top. And actually some of the limbs have been highlighted with a bit of scorpion green. Here you can see the runes. They have been painted with burnished gold, another Games Workshop paint, and that helps to add a bit of colour to the piece. And the orb in the centre there, underneath where the Praetorian sits, has been painted in scorpion green. Next we can take a bit of a look at the weapon. So if we just put the model down and take off the heavy Gauss cannons I've got on at the moment. Right, okay, here you can see the weapons themselves. Each of the guns has had scorpion green dry brush onto the main bits with a scorpion green orb, and has a snot green coil at the back. The main gun has been dry brushed with snot green and has scorpion green orbs, and the guns on the sides have Codex grey dry brushes on them to show off the details a bit better. You see the tubing at the bottom has scorpion green and snot green dry brushing on it to give a sort of faded look without being too pure. I wanted this model to seem a bit aged in comparison to my others. Here's the particle caster end of the gun, painted up with bolt gun metal dry brushing and a bit of Codex grey dry brushing on different sections to add a bit of variety but not too much. And here we have the heat ray. That was done with Sunburst Yellow and Blood Red on the orbs, and obviously Scorpion Green on the runes on the back, and then Bolt Gunmetal was dry brushed to the Ray section, and Codex Grey was dry brushed to all of the other areas. So there's a lot of dry brushing on this model, but mainly that Snot Green on the main model. Here's the model with the Heat Ray, just showing off what it looks like really. Standard weapon attachment. Then here we have it with the particle caster. I've made all of my weapons for this interchangeable just to give me some playing options for when I'm setting up an enemy list. It means I don't have to buy 3. And finally we have it with the twin-linked heavy Gorse cannons. Quite a lot bigger than the other ones, so I tend to use them to show it off. They've been magnetised up actually. So quite an imposing vehicle on the battlefield. Here's a look at the back. Once again, looking very mechanical. And almost similar to insects really, with the 6 legs. And the 2 pincers at the front as well. There's another look at the Praetorian in the front. And the orb at the top. Now here's a quick size comparison for all of you people who want to know how big this actually is. Here's a look at the standard warrior, there he is, next to the Stalker, which is pretty massive. And there's the Annihilation Barge next to it to give you a bit more size comparison. So it's pretty big. Here's it standing up normally. Probably about 5 times the size, 5 times the height of a person maybe. 4 or 5. And turn it sideways here so you get a side view of all of them. So it's about as long as an Annihilation Barge, maybe not, it's not so concentrated in its mass, so if you put the Annihilation Barge in front of it you can see they're pretty much the same length. The Annihilation Barge is slightly longer just because of its engines at the back, but all 3 very imposing and powerful models on the battlefield. Especially the warriors. So stay tuned for more painting videos, and I'll be getting some battle reports up soon. Don't forget to check out all the painting videos for these 3 models, and I'll see you guys later.